of property. Like, So we got started with Young Living in August of 2013, and I hit Diamond 13 months after I started. Yeah.
Wait, what? Sorry. Okay.
Hey, I bought my kid August 3rd and then hit Diamond 13 months later. It was nuts. However, we had a crazy story. The long and short of it is we had a very sick little girl. And if you ever follow me on social media, her name is Liza Jane. And
you can be as non-compliant as you want, by the way.
Yeah. So she, we were told to enjoy Christmas with her that year. I mean, she was a very sick child, and we kind of had nothing to lose. Like if the oil didn't work, I mean, life wasn't going to change. So for us, we had, we were at a place where you're like nothing to lose. Like we had nothing to lose. The other thing is, so we have 3 kids. We have Liza Jane, we have June Apple, and we did name her that on purpose. And then we also have Jed, and so he's almost 3. So anyway, we started using the oil. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. If I need to go up to the lodge, Bethany, do you think I should leave?
It's not horrible, but there are a few words, yeah, that's like, yeah.
Okay. If it gets bad in the next 5 minutes, then give me 5 minutes and I'll run up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So anyway, the long and short of it is the oils worked. We were also in seminary and living on beans and rice, if you're familiar with beans and rice. And so we decided we were on WIC, food stamps, Medicaid. Oh, I'm going to mute somebody. Bethany, can you mute somebody for the feedback? Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was game-changing mindsets. And you guys may be the rock stars of Bethany's organization, but I can guarantee you're going to have people in your downlines that need a mindset shift. And so you may be thinking you've got it all together, your ducks are in a row, you're good, and you are, but you're going to come across things like this. So I would ask that you just write them down, because you may not deal with it, but I can guarantee somebody in your organization is going to, or is, or has, will, whatever. The first one is that you have got to look at Young Living as a legit opportunity. If you don't think that this is legit, you're not going to give it any time. You're not going to even talk about the oils. You're not going to talk about it as a business, right? So my first question for all of you on this call is, do you honestly think of this as a legit opportunity? You have to think that. So people that don't think of this is how I see it play out. Y'all get real apologetic. Like if somebody asks you what you do, you're kind of like, well, I'm a teacher during the day, but I've kind of got this like hobby, or I've ever heard of lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and you get like real sheepish and apologetic. The other thing is like, you almost feel like you have to be like, okay, so I grew up Southern Baptist, and sometimes I'm like, I'm Southern Baptist, but it's not like what you think. Like I like automatically like apologize or something. And so I feel like when you don't take this as a legit opportunity, then you just shirk back. You don't use the oils in front of people because you don't want them to think you're weird. So, and you won't post on Facebook because you don't want to be another one of those people, right? Like I grew up, oh, sorry, this Bethany, can you, let me see. Okay, so when I am on social media and I see all these people post like all their like products, like my favorite is like when they're like, meet my friend Dan. Dan's been drinking this amazing pink drink and has lost 30 pounds. And I'm just like, you don't even know him. Like you don't know Dan, right? Like, So it makes me almost not want to post about oils, like how awesome lavender is or what thieves can do. But the truth of the matter is, if I think that this is legit and if I think the product is legit, then I'm going to talk about it, right? So number one is you and your people have got to think of this as legit. Okay. Number two, I love you all. And I don't know you, so like if I hurt your feelings, you'll be fine. Okay. So it is not your upline or your downline's job to build your business. So I get a lot of like, I can't go to my next rank because my downline doesn't do anything. Or my third leg doesn't have any people in there that are hustling. Or my uplines never put anybody underneath me. I'm sorry, cry me a river. Like, it is not their job to grow your business. I've never been stacked, ever. Like, no one has ever put somebody underneath me. I did this all by my lonesome. And when I was going for Crown Diamond, so to hit Diamond, you have to have an OGV of 250,000, and I wanted to hit Crown, which is 750. And y'all, I was stuck at 600,000 for 3 years, basically. Like, painful. And I know y'all are like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's an incredible. But no, like, I was like, I cannot get what is happening. But I was like, you know what? If I have to build from 600,000 to 750,000 one kit at a time, it is not my job. It is not my downline's job to build my business. It is Paige's job to build her business. So so whether you have an OGV issue or a leg issue, so let's say you're building to gold right now, okay? It is not, this is universal, okay? Every rank has their own set of challenges, every rank. And I actually have a whole talk that I do for rank challenges. We go through each rank and we assess the challenges and what you should do to overcome each challenge. So if I have people in my organization, so you guys are the hustlers, right? I might sit down and like look at their challenges for that specific rank. So for example, stars, we have told them, hey, here's a freaking kit. Go be an entrepreneur. And guys, they may not be wired to be an entrepreneur. And they're just like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to do. And so they require more hand holding. Like, so for example, what I use Marco Polo, and I have a Marco Polo, like these groups where I hop on every day and I'm like, hey, do this today. Hey, do this today. Hey, it's simple. It's actually like Bethany's workbook, which I swear by it. So like, I'll be, hey, this is the habit I'm doing today. Go do it right now. You know? And so, it's a great question. It's a class I do, and maybe I can make, is it better now? Okay, so you can think through your stars, like their challenge is going to be they need to know what to do. What are the day-to-day things? Whereas your silvers, what have they done? They've lost sight of the basics of like the nitty-gritty, enroll people, sign people up for ER, get people to do the business. So every rank has its own challenges. And so when I'm struggling to grow, then I need to work my ranks based on their specific challenges. Does that make sense? And the other thing is, you guys are hustling, but you're going to have people that don't want to go at the pace you're going at. And that has to be okay. So when I have somebody, when I need to grow, I'm going to work with people based on each of their ranks and what their specific challenges are. Does that make sense? Like, because everybody has a different set of challenges. The other thing though is, think about this. Bethany, you might have wanted to do this and it had to work. Remember, you told me, you were like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going for Royal Crown, come hell or high water. You will have people in your organization that just want to get their product paid for. And I think we have to be okay with that. You know what I mean? You have to be okay that there are people that just want to break even, and it is not a bad thing. But what it helps is you not be frustrated. For example, so if somebody says to me, well, so we tell my people you have 4 options to do the business. Number 1 is get your product paid for. Number 2, do this as a hobby. Because guess what? If they want to do it as a hobby, let them do it as a hobby. It just means that's not where I'm going to put my time and energy. I'm not going to sit there and be like, let's do a coaching call for 2 hours. Like, that's not no. But it'll free you up to know where they're doing. So what their goals are. So when I have someone that's like, I want to do the business, I'm like, okay, here's the compensation plan. What rank looks good to you? Senior star. Okay. Senior star means you're going to make about $200 a month. To do that, I would probably encourage you to sell about 2 to 3 kits a month. Okay. Okay, great. Now, if I sit down with someone and they're like, gold, I want to be gold. I'm like, okay, gold. This is what you're going to need. Every month, your team needs to reach 35,000. For that to happen, it's about to get for real. Like, your hustle is going to look a heck of a lot different than someone that just wants to get their product paid for. The reason I like doing this with people is it just frees you up, the hustler, from being frustrated and then investing where you don't need to invest. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, awesome, peace, right? Okay. And then if somebody tells me they want to hit gold or silver or platinum, I'm like, well, let's make a plan. Here's your 3-month plan, your 6, like, we'll make a plan together. Okay, number 3, I will own each season and take responsibility. So guys, there are different seasons of hustle. So my daughter was in this really intense therapy for 7 months, a year or 2 ago. And it just meant that my hustle looked different because I was driving in Texas traffic 3 days a week. So I was still diamond, but I just knew that for those 7 months, my family, number 3 is I will own each season and take responsibility for it. So I think you just have to be honest with yourself what the season is. So like you new mamas, it's a season. But what happens is people get into a season and they choose not to get out of it. Like they take the break when the baby's born. You lose a parent. Maybe you're in a marriage and y'all are in like counseling and your marriage needs your energy and time, which is a good thing. But you have to just own what it is and then be able to re-engage. However, I will say this, consistency is a make it or break in this business. So if you go hot and you're like, oil, you're teaching classes and then it's cold and you're not doing jack, that will hurt you. So I think you can have a different season, but still be consistent. So for example, and during those 7 months with Liza Jane, it just meant I wasn't adding a lot of business people because I could not train them or engage them. But I was still posting on social media consistently. I was in my oil chat groups. I do Happy Mail quarterly. Like I send something in the mail 4 times a year. I was still doing that. I was still texting. I just wasn't like teaching 20 classes a month and like going crazy. But you have to be consistent regardless of the season. Number 4, remove this from your vocabulary. No one is ever just a kit. Like no one is a kit sale, just a kit sale. I hate that. Well, they're just a kit sale. Have you all ever said that? Has anybody ever said that? Oh, it drives me. I say it all the time. They're just a kit sale. What that does is, one, it minimizes them as a human, but then it also, they're a person that you are responsible for. So I think, I love Jesus, but I do cuss a little bit. But I think it's kind of a jerk move when you sell someone a kit and then you don't do anything with them or for them. I think it's just a jerk move. Like I made $50, peace, like jerk move. So I encourage my people, like, you should know why everybody bought their kit. the why. Because if you don't know why they bought their kit, so let's say they bought their kit because they have allergies and their kit doesn't help with their allergies, well, guess what? They're never going to buy again. So it's your job to like walk them through. So what we do on my team is we help people make 3 to 6 month care plans. Like, okay, so my classes, if you come to my class, there are 4 ways you can join Young Living. You can join Young Living through oils. You can join Young Living through makeup. You can join Young Living through cleaning or nutrition. You pick how you want to get in. Because I tell people at my classes, I am not here to sell you crap you don't need. That's not my job. But Facebook makes me sad because I feel like every other mom has breast cancer or a autoimmune problem, and it has to be the crap that we eat and the toxins in our home. So here at my class today, my goal is to help you make one change. Your change may be oils, your change may be makeup, your change may be your cleaning products. So my goal today is to help you make one change. So you have to know why they bought their kit. So they're not just a kit sale, right? They have a real issue. I have a girl that's inviting y'all, listen to this. This is nuts. She messages, she's like, let's say she's going to invite Bethany to a class. So she'll be like, Bethany, hey girl, I know you're coming to my class on Sunday. Is there anything you want me to cover at the class? And Bethany would be like, yeah, I'm struggling with my kids never sleep and blah, blah, blah. So then my girl Hannah's selling Bethany the kit before Bethany ever comes to the class because she's like personalized, like this engaged conversation, right? So, and then at my classes, what I do is when Bethany's there, she's bought her kit, and then I'll be like, okay, Bethany, okay, today you're changing your makeup. You bought the makeup kit. Okay, so let's think through one change you can make in May. Let's think through one thing in July. Let's think through one thing in August. What did I just do there? I set her up for ER on the spot. She's ready to go because we've got her this plan. And so my team will have a platinum that she taught us this. It was so good. It was like, we are creating a culture of ER. ER is the normal. When we talk about ER, when we talk about oils, we don't say, if you reorder. What we say is, so on your ER this month. So get this, girls don't want to miss out. Y'all know about FOMO, fear of missing out. So we make ER something you don't want to miss out on. We take fun selfies at our make and takes. I had 2 girls join the business because we were having fun. And they wanted to keep coming to coffee with us. And I was like, sorry, it's for our business people only. So guess what they did? They joined the business. So you remove like just the kit sale. These are people that need to be engaged. I have a firm belief, and I have said this all in so many trainings. If your people do not feel connected, engaged, or inspired, you can go ahead and say peace out. They have to feel connected, engaged, and inspired. Even your oil community, your customers, connected, engaged, and inspired. They have to. Okay. So, what else? I think yeah. Okay. So I got to keep moving. Number 5. Ooh, this is my favorite. That you have to have a mentality of, I will take each obstacle or challenge and then problem solve the mess out of it. So I'm doing this big thing for the next 2 months with these group of girls that are like re-energizing their business. And I made a list of some of the things I've heard. Young Living never has stuff in stock. Shipping is slow. I don't have time. The market is saturated. I'm not salesy. I hate social media. I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I have kids. I don't have kids. I can't even. Okay. I don't know how to, or I'm not fill in the blank. No one ever comes to my classes. Okay. Y'all, I literally have heard all of those in the past couple weeks. Every single one of these. I can problem solve the mess out of every single one of these. So when I hear no one comes to my classes, the first thing I would say to that is, really? No one. You've never had anyone ever for all time. Okay, so I don't like hyperbolic language like that, right? Like, The other thing is, well, how are you inviting people to classes? Are you sending them a Facebook invite? Are you mass messaging? My favorite one, I guess, is messaging. It was like, hey girl, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, insert name here. Like they forgot to take out the insert name here thing. So when I invite people to classes, I'd be like, hey, Bethany, listen, I know your little one isn't sleeping. So I've got this class coming up and I'm actually going to be covering kids. And I know that you guys have been struggling for so long with little whatever and sleeping. So I would love to make sure I addressed that at the class. And I think it would be super helpful if you came. Bethany is more likely to come to my class because I engaged her specifically about her issue. The other thing is, did you know I don't check Facebook? Like I'm on Facebook. I don't check Facebook Messenger. Like right now I'm sitting on like 3,000 messages. It makes my assistant cringe. I won't check them. Like I correspond with people I want to correspond with, but I will not check Facebook. I can guarantee you have people in your life that don't check Facebook. And guess what? We have a girl that babysits on Fridays, and I was like, Kayla, are you on Facebook? And do y'all know what she said to me? Ew, no. Ew, no. And I was like, I'm old. Okay. So you've got a whole different audience of people off of social media and Facebook. Maybe they're on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, or maybe God forbid, they just like to talk on the phone or text, like you need to engage people. So what I would do is if you have someone on your team, when they say, I don't have time, I hear that one all the time. Okay. So I took Bethany's daily habits and I have shown my team how you can put them into 10-minute time blocks. So for example, like on a daily habit, one of those daily habits can take about 10 minutes. So then pick 5 time blocks during your day in this time block. So what I'm doing with Bethany's book is we've attached a name for each day of the week. So you know how Bethany has a list of like your people that, like your friends that still need oils. So we take those 30 names and they're actually physically on the calendar for one day a week. And that fits into a 10-minute time block. Does that make sense? So I feel like that when you see all those 30 names, it can get a little overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get to 30 people? So what we do is we put the list in the calendar and it's like, there's one name every day. So then we kind of like break this up. So we have like a 10-minute window is for a 0 PV person. A 10-minute window is for a leader I want to rank up. A 10-minute window is for a fence sitter. Does that make sense? So my girls in a given day who say, I don't have time, well, they realize they're sitting in the carpool line for 10 minutes. Then they realize that they're waiting for karate practice to get out for 10 minutes. Then they see that they were nursing a baby for 10 minutes. Does that make sense? So then they're able to tackle these blocks. So you may not deal with that. You're going to sit down and work for an hour and a half. No big deal, right? But I can guarantee you have girls on your team that are thinking, I don't have time. So I showed my team, like I do this all the time. Like I get in my car and I'm like, okay, I've got 10 minutes before I have to get Liza Jane. So this is what I'm doing right now to grow my business. I'm about to message 3 girls, Whitney, Jessica, and Maria. And I'm going to show them, like, I want to talk to them, one about oils, one about the business, and one about reactivating. Okay. So I'm just encouraging you. I will ask someone what their challenge is, what their obstacle is, and then help them problem solve that. Does that make sense? Okay. And I could take this example and like run this into the ground. I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. So like I'm an extrovert, but I kind of annoy myself. Like I watch videos of myself and I'm like, wow, I have a nasal voice. I'm super annoying. And I think some people probably think they don't want to buy oils from me. So you, the introvert, who's like the nicest human being on the planet and you're super approachable and kind, people might want to buy from you, right? So anyway, the point is I could take any of these obstacles and like problem solve the mess out of them. Okay, the last one is, so the number 5 is I will take each obstacle, challenge, and problem solve it. And the last one, and this is just, I hope this speaks to your heart a little bit, is, so I was not put on this earth to schlep lavender. Like, God did not make me to like push whatever. Like, that's just not why he made me. But I can see Young Living as an investment opportunity and a stewardship opportunity. So you're going to have girls on there. I had this one girl on my team who was like, I don't want to make money because I feel bad about it. Like, because we don't need it. I'm like, well, dude, then make money and give it away. Like, make a shiz ton of money, then go bless the heck out of someone. Pay for someone's adoption every month. Write a check for an adoption every month. If you're like pissy about money, like, okay, go make good money, you know? And then I also would say that you have to invest in your downline. Now, granted, remember I said it's not your downline's job to build your business, but it is your job to invest in your downline. And I think you can do this in a lot of ways. I think just one, teaching them, like investing them, asking them their challenges, coming alongside them, like don't hit silver and then quit and take a paycheck, right? Or don't hit diamond and quit and take a paycheck. Like look for ways to invest in your downline. So I've made it my personal goal that all my personally enrolled hit silver. Like I will not break, like I am like committed to them because I could easily take my 40 grand a month and like chill. Like I could just go do that. Right. But I think that's poor stewardship. Like, yes, exactly. They aren't just volume, they're people. And I think that is an important thing.
Hey, let's change your diaper, sissy. Okay, mommy's going to change your diaper and you can get back on daddy's lap.
I think you can look too for ways to be stupid generous with Young Living. Like look for ways to be stupid generous. So like whether that's giving product, whether that's portions of your paycheck. And I think that will also help your downlines because what did I say? If they don't feel engaged, connected, or inspired. So you've got people like I'm a go-getter. I'm a blue, red, depending on the day. Like I'm like going for royal crown. Like there's no stopping me, right? But I'm going to have people on my team that are not motivated by that. And you have to look for other ways to get them motivated. So I have my sixth leg, they're all yellows and greens. They are the nicest team on the whole planet. Like they are the people that like bring you dinner and like a gift. And you're like, oh, I just have a cold. And they're like, I've just been praying about you all day. I brought you chicken. You know, you're like, oh, I am not that. I'm just not a nice person. And so anyway, I have to like think like, okay, what's going to motivate them, right? And honestly, they want to feel inspired. The big numbers don't motivate them. They want to be inspired and they want to help others. Want to help? Okay. I just want to make money. But, I don't, that's not true. Okay. So, it's different, you know? So I just want to make sure that you know that you're not born to sell. This is a stewardship issue and an investment issue. And also, I just want to make sure that you know at the end of this call that your identity is not wrapped up in a rank. So like you hitting silver, you hitting platinum, you hitting diamond is awesome, but it's not who you are. And when you lose your rank, Jesus still loves you. Your husband, your spouse still loves you. If you have kids, your fur babies, like who you are is freaking awesome. And it's not tied up to a rank. You know? And so I feel like we can get so ambitious and all into this, but we have to go back to like, why am I here? Like, who loves me? Why am I here? And so that actually helps me when I talk, because I talk to everybody about the business. I have talked to a plumber while I put oils on his back about the business. I have talked to the bra sales lady while she's fitting me for a new bra to sell her kit, the Verizon customer service agent on the phone. Do you know why? Because if they say no, I'm still okay. Like, they're not rejecting me, they're rejecting an opportunity. So, how do I start this conversation? Well, I can't tell you the bra story one because that was really inappropriate. But because it's being recorded, I'm like, oh my gosh. But if we're ever having coffee at convention, I will tell you the bra story. The plumber story, his back hurt. And I was like, well, I've got oils for that. And I think my husband was like, I can't believe you're like going there, you know? And I'm like, there we go. So, so my email address is oilymamagoodness@gmail.com. So everyone asks me like, oh, what do you do? So what do I say I do? I don't say I do health and wellness because people go to school for that. I say that I do sales, marketing, and education for an essential oil company. I do sales, marketing, and people get it. So when I moved to Charlottesville, like 7 months ago, or whenever it was, people ask me all, they're like, oh, why'd y'all move here? I'm like, oh, well, my business, the market here, we saw potential for it to grow. So we decided to move here and grow our business here. I do sales and marketing and education for an essential oil company. Does that sound legit? Right? Because I think, right, number one, this is a legit opportunity, right? That's where we started. So because we think it's a legit opportunity, and I don't care what people think about me, I don't think I can give a rat's ass what people think about me, then I can talk about it to whoever, you know? So when we do this thing on my team where we go for the no. So last Thursday or something, I went for the no and I got 6 no's, and guess how many yeses? 0. It was awesome. But guess what? Like, I'm okay. You know, I put myself out there and they said no. And I was like, I'm going to sleep real good tonight. Like, you know, y'all, I have been talking for 35 minutes. Usually that takes me an hour.
That was amazing. No, I love that. That was so good. Especially like I love what you're like, no, people go to school for that. Like, and people in this call probably have gone to school for that, like some of them, but I haven't. So it's just like, nope, I do sales and marketing. I love that.
Yeah, I just get nervous telling, because then I get questions like, oh, I've got this thing, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what you should do. Like, I don't know what you should do. Go Google. Like,
right.
It just makes me super nervous telling people like what to do. I'll point you in the right direction and things like that, but I don't teach health and wellness. I appreciate it, but I don't teach it, you know?
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
And if they have any questions, do you have availability for them to put it in the comments?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're good. We're totally
good. So my first question is, you hit diamond in 13 months with a daughter who is requiring attention and emotional attention as well as physical. What did your day-to-day activity look like during that season?
Awesome question. So what I did was I posted consistently once a week on social media about oils. And I would post like, they weren't like snarky, like vague in our Facebook post because we're embarrassed, right? So I would post like stories we were using one week. So what I did is, if anybody ever commented on my post, I would write it in a spreadsheet, and then like I had this running for every May, first said it, and I would message them, and I would like, yeah, I saw commented, like, yeah, I've been buying oils at Whole Foods. That's awesome. I'm reach that conversation, that whatever, you know, like a message. I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet another crunchy granola. Love to get together and like figure this whole thing out. Because I'm okay. Then what I did was I would basically work an hour at nap time, and then an hour or 2 at bedtime. Then because it was really actually wearing on our marriage, because every night I would like sit down and start working like crazy hours, and I was doing that like every night, right? So we put a time limit on it. So basically I would work an hour at bedtime, like an hour at nap time, and then we talked about me having like, we called it like my hustle night once a week. I would stay up till like God knows how late, like crazy late. And Josh had to put the girls to bed and everything. And that's what we did for that
I mean, not right now. That was when we first started. That was the season, and that was all I could do. So I would literally do an hour at nap time, and I also didn't want to be on my phone like all the time. And the thing I realized was we're not curing cancer. Like the phone can wait. Like you don't have to like message them back immediately. So what I would do is I would shoot a message back like, hey, thanks for sending me that message. I'm going to be back on tonight working and shooting people emails, and I'll write you back tonight. Because I realized that the second I pulled off to like engage it, then it went down like this rabbit hole of like whatever. So what I do is, and even with Bethany's planner now, I was using another system then. I will keep, how Bethany has these like big pages right here. So what I would do is I keep this out on now it's my desk, but then it was my island, and I would just write down a bullet point like, write Bethany, call Bethany, tell Katie about oil, like tell Katie about peppermint. Like I would just make a note. So when things crossed my brain, I didn't have to like pull off like feeding the baby and like engage it. I could just write it down. And I know that seems so simple, but I feel like a lot of your stars are missing it. So then they don't have work-life balance, because all of a sudden they just rabbit hole for 3 hours and they're like, crap, like I'm neglecting my family. So you have to work smart. The other thing, I told my people all day long. So let me ask you all this. Bethany, where does direct deposit come? Living, right?
Cut out just a little tiny bit. What'd you say?
So Young Living, who gives you your check? Who gives you Young Living? Mark Zuckerberg does not write you a check.
Right.
Facebook does not send you a check. So what I find is I have all these people that are on Facebook scrolling hours, and I'm like, Mark Zuckerberg does not send you a check for scrolling Facebook. Get off of Facebook. Like, get on Facebook to build your business, to do what you need to do, but you do not need to sit there and look at your second cousin's hairdresser's prom pictures of her 16-year-old. You don't need to look at cat videos on YouTube. Like, you can stop. So if you are, I say that to, let's say you tell me I don't have enough time. Now, if you have all the time in the world, check out your cat videos. I love a good cat. I love cat videos, but I might have more time. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So you're telling me that you hit diamond in 13 months working about 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Do you know how unheard of that is? Like, I've never heard anyone else say that.
Yeah, I've never done an incentive to a rank either, like to push for a rank either.
That's amazing.
Ever. Yeah. But also I was super efficient with my time. Like, ways to copy and paste things that I needed to copy, and I had some standard copy and paste things, you know what I mean? And I also didn't teach classes then because we couldn't, I was at a point where I couldn't with her. But later on, when I stopped growing, when you stop growing, what do? You figure out what you need to do different. So what I did year one does not work now. It does not work now. Like, it does not work. So when I wanted to grow, when I got to Charlottesville and I wanted to hit Crown Diamond, I took 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, it was so insane. I took 2 weeks and I did like a multi-city tour. I taught beauty. I don't like the makeup's cool. I love Savvy Minerals, but I don't want to tell you how to do. Like, I just go, I'm like, I can get into this to sell mascara, but I'm selling mascara. So I went on like this multi-city tour because we knew that there was a season of hustle that I needed to grow my business, right? And so different seasons look different. So like for me and Josh now, the last day of the month is kind of like this, and literally I'll say it's the last day of the month, which means I could be working for 24 hours straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and Emily, multi-city tour, but I'm also do things consistently. There are things that I mean,
And I think that there are diamonds that will lose rank when they don't invest into their business and keep working. If I have watched silvers fall back to senior star, you know, because you choose not to keep working and invest in your people, which is like that mindset, right? Invest in your downline. Yeah. Great questions.
Are you able to see Jen Henshaw's question? I think you did kind of answer. Jessica Park said, if you do have a team of yellow, green under you, which you're not, what did you use to incentivize them? Or what did you say that cut, did you say that did you say that it cut out for us in here?
Okay. So what I did was I put that particular leg all in a group. They were all in a group together. And I think a lot of times they need to feel heard, like they need to feel heard, like to give them space to have their voice and to feel like what you're doing for them is personal and that you're just not like steamrolling them with your red personality. So I did in that group. So that was a couple years. That was like my second year. I was building that leg. It was like at 10,000 and I needed it to get to 35,000. So I took about 4 months to build that leg to 35,000 or so. I put them in a group together and I did things that were fun for them. Like I engaged them on a friendship level. So like we were naming our baby and I was like, hey, give me baby names. And I'll pick, if we pick a name, maybe you can like be the godmother. I don't know. But like I like did a prize. I gave them all Redbox codes for a date night. It cost me $1 a piece, $1.50 a piece. I gave them a date night, a couch date. Does that, you know what I mean? They needed to feel that I actually cared about them. We did a team, like we're going to support, I gave them a cause. We're all going to give either time or money towards an adoption this month. And so we had girls volunteering at a pregnancy center. We had girls give $10 from their paycheck to an adoption. Does that make sense? Like they needed to feel like they were a part of a community. So how do I get people to interact on social media? I think it's really challenging because social media, the algorithms suck. So people may not actually be seeing your stuff for one. It's true. And they also get super overwhelmed. So I know you can look as an admin in a Facebook group and see when people are most engaged in your groups. So most of my engagement comes on the 1st and 2nd of the month because people are checking in for the promos. So that tells me that on your 1st and 2nd, 3rd of the month, you need your post to be the most effective they can possibly be. You need to get out all the major things that you want them to know. Taylor, it's in the admin settings of your group. If you run a group, you can see the admin settings and click and see. You can see how many comments are posted. So I saw a decline of about 800 people in my group. Did y'all catch that? 800 people less were engaging and commenting. So that's why I started a Marco Polo groups of like, I basically give them an IPA every day of something to do. And so I think you can do some fun things on social media, but you just want to make it worth their time. So you could do some fun stuff like name your baby, or I do these Saturday night confessions. I do it like once a quarter where it's like your Saturday night Young Living confession. So for example, like, I hate the smell of whatever, or I've never opened frankincense, or like, does that make sense? Like we do Saturday night confessions once in a while and there's always get a lot of interaction. And some of them get kind of weird actually, where I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, Jen says, how do you help people discover their potential and accept their goals? I want to hit star in a year. Do you just leave it at that or help them catch a bigger vision along the way?
Great question. So I would say if someone said to me, I would be like, okay, so about start, does that mean you want to get your oils paid for? Or does that mean, like, what are we talking? Because I would want to know more about just the rank. Like, do they want to get that sounds like an oils paid for thing. Right? So then for that person, I might be like, okay, so let me shoot straight with you. I think you can totally do that. I think we can get your oil costs covered. I do think your oil costs are going to grow as you use the product more. I really do. So I might pitch it that way. Like, I think you could do more, honestly. Then I also have people in my life that are freaking awesome that I'm like, so I had a girl tell me, she's like, I just want to be sober. I'm like, no, you're awesome. And girl, I want to go on Diamond Retreat with you. Like, we need to do this together. So I think, Bethany, I talked to my team about a little bit about emotional intelligence. And I think you also need to be able and know what they're doing. Like, I hear you say that, but I really think this could be bigger than that for you. But at the same time, you're going to have people that's all they really want. That's what they're all paid for. And I think it can take time. Is you don't want to write people off because life situations can change. Husbands might leave and adopt. Then they decide they want to adopt. Husband, you lose your job. Like, so just because someone has that goal of star, it doesn't mean that's their goal. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Ben has an extremely high emotional intelligence, like on a new level that I'm learning to relate with her on. Like, I feel like I'm learning from her in that way.
And then I am working on putting something together that I can share. So pass that on when that you guys have access to. Like, basically, I look at challenges at each rank, opportunities, and come to each rank, which I think will be helpful for y'all as well.
Yeah,
I can get that to you guys.
That'd be awesome. And Caitlin, Jordan Schrant has put something together in the past in her website. I'm sure that I can't remember her password, but it's somewhere. We'll find it for you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, especially during your vacation.
My pleasure.
I have a whole big page full of notes, and I know everyone else does too. So if you don't have anything else, I'm going to say adios to everybody. And you're frozen on my end, so I just want to, there you are. Where are you?
Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. See you, Paige. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
All right, guys, that was awesome. Just wanted to remind one last thing. Sharon messaged me, and I will message you back, but the class is the 9th through the 19th. It's a 101 class. I think that's right, too, Laura. So that's what I was going to say. I'm like, why did I ask Paige to get off? Yeah, it's #onpurpose, and the website is livingitoutonpurpose.com, or wearelivingitout.com. So, all right, guys, have an awesome night. Thanks for joining. See ya.